1, 2, press start. My name is Darsay. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week. We are doing another shoutcast of League of Legends Silver tier. Some of them may be higher than that, but right now it is Silver tier. And I actually have a special guest. My buddy that you all know, Kairu, is joining us. Kyle, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to join the cast for today's Clash.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing here. We're doing a view of Clash. Those who are watching the screen are going to see that it is paused for a quick second. And that's just because I was getting my notes up. But Kyle, let's talk a little bit. Of course, we are here in Clash doing a after view of Clash. But let's talk a little bit about the picks and bans that you noticed in here. Talk a little bit about Team Ham and their bans.
As it appears, they focused hard in the first round on supports. They banned the Raka, Yumi, and Nami. So apparently, the support player of Wonderland must be pretty good with their supports, because they focus their support pretty hard.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you spend all 3 bans in the first round on support. That's definitely an indicator of that person is packing a big punch there in the support role. Team Wonderland, which is going to be on the blue side, their bans in the first round: Echo, Ori, and Thresh. Of course, we both know Thresh is played by one of our close friends, Sacred Caretaker, you see there, or as we call him, Movie Man. A no-brainer ban there on Thresh. He has so much experience, so much mastery points on that. That's an easy ban. But let's talk a little bit about the Echo and Ori ban for Frost Altheria in the mid lane.
The Echo makes a lot of sense. Frost is known to play a lot of Echo. He hasn't played him a whole lot recently, but again, he does have a lot of points on him. And seeing him firsthand play the Echo, he does really well on it. Ori kind of surprises me, though. I haven't really seen too much Ori play from him, and it must be, to me personally, they saw enough in his matches that they didn't want to deal with. It's a champ that they just don't want to deal with either.
And I was actually going to say that. Do you think it could be that in itself, if they didn't want to play into an Ori mid lane with their team comp that they chose? And of course, you have the Akali, Ashe, which can stay, pretty far back. Zyra the same, but if you have an Ori ultimate and it hits any of those 3, if not all 3 of those, that could be a quick death for the carries on the side of Team Wonderland.
It has very much that blow up potential, especially if you ball volley as he's coming in. That can lead to big damage.
Yeah, and so let's kind of talk a little bit quickly. We're here paused at 1 minute just so that everyone knows, so that way we can kind of talk through the picks and bans. Round 2 bans, Ham throws their bans, seems to be, at least through the bans here, in the top lane against the Mordekaiser and Kled, and on Wonderland's side, seems to be the same thing. Bans towards the top lane, Darius and Seth. I guess, in your opinion, Kyle, we know that the bot lane, or excuse me, the top lane normally is a priority pick in, or an early pick, I should say, in pro play, just because they want to switch the counter in the mid lane. Are you surprised that there was no seemingly mid lane bans on the side of I guess, Ham or Wonderland in this second round?
That I somewhat am, but depending on how the pick did come out, Frost could have picked it early, so seeing the Nico come up, but Nico is known to also go top lane, so it is a flex pick. But towards the team Ham, I could see the Mord pick. I do know Mord causes a lot of issues, and can be really annoying to play against. Qued might be a personal preference to ban out because of their top laner. On the side of Wonderland, Seth could go either or. I do know that Ham's jungler does enjoy playing Seth in the jungle, and it could be something that you just do not want to deal with. And Darius, of course, we all know Darius. He can be really game-changing in this.
Yeah, and so just to quickly talk about this, because I do have some screen grabs of the pick and ban phase. It does look like now, being able to talk about it, that both mid laners did come out with Nico and Akali in the first set of picks. But as you said, Nico is a flex pick, so it is a little surprising that no mid laners bans ended up coming out in that second round still. But of course, this is the squad that they're going to roll with in the first matchup here. Kyle, let's kind of get things going here. So in 3 seconds, we're going to unpause it. So 3, 2, 1. Unpause it, and let's get things going, seeing what's going to come out. Is Team Ham going to come out victorious, or is Team Wonderland going to go ham on them and get the W in the first round of the clash?
It looks like Team Ham is taking the early red buff camp and working its way down blue. Maybe we'll get a gank towards the bot side early, get a little bit of objective control towards the dragon side. Obviously you got the Rex side starting their red side as well, so they both will be on opposite sides of the jungle.
Yeah, and we know that again in past experience for playing against these guys and playing with them, that Booty on the Volibear there, he is a fairly aggressive jungler, likes to look for those early skirmishes to get either his mid lane in front or his bot lane. So I wouldn't be surprised if we I wouldn't be surprised if we see a gank from him early on, grabbing the early level 3 and going straight into a gank. But you know, again, Rek'Sai a definitely a strong jungler in her own right. And that could end up being a really good skirmish here at the beginning if Booty decides to go for that gank.
That it could be. It looks like there's a hook already on the Cogmal.
Yep, we do got a trade going on. The exhaust has been burnt. Ashe dealing a lot of damage to that Morgana. Oh, she gets snared. Is she going to get away? There's the flash, the other flash. Oh, she does come out with the first blood. And could the trade ends up happening? It does. Zyra does secure the kill. There's also a gank up top. There's so much fighting going on. They does fall in the top. Alawi drops to the gank of Rek'Sai and Jax. The kill going over to Rek'Sai. Man, so much fighting already early on. Zyra does escape with her life. Volibear was not able to come in on that. Kyle, this is already showing to be, oh my god, and there's a return gank. I don't even get to finish what is going on. Flash does have to come out of Alawi, and they are going to keep pressuring this. Why is she staying around? This could be disastrous. Oh, but she does escape with her life.
Does take a turret shot, but it's not going to do a whole lot. Yeah, that teleporting in and pushing that far back up, knowing Rek'Sai is probably on that side still. I understand you don't want to lose that farm already dying once, but you do got to be careful. I would obviously try to ward down through that tri-bush just to make sure she is gone. But bot lane, though, obviously Kog'Maw did get hooked early. Ashe early game and early damage. Her early damage did get a little bit nerfed in the patch, but she is still really strong. And early on, you're fighting straight up like that, Kog'Maw is going to lose that trade.
Yeah, and you know the thing that is going to be important to keep in mind is all summoners were burned in the bot lane, and Jax going in on Alawi here, 2-level advantage. I do not know why she is sticking up. This could prove disastrous. There's probably the reason. Booty was on the top side, but it looks like he was spotted out as he tried to go through that brush. Jax does back up and is going to be in a safe spot in the top lane.
Kelly did go back already. She got a little bit of health steal. She brought her control ward. I like to see that early on. Vision. Bully as well has a control ward. For anybody that is lower elos, like myself, buying those control wards is extremely important. Vision obviously has a lot to do with winning your matchups. Oh, here comes Jack going in again. A little trade.
Yep. It looks like he is going to be aggressive in trying to trade blows in the top lane. Again, the one thing that's important to note with the Jax up there, he of course has the teleport advantage, and also he went with the corrupting potion. So he's getting that extra burn damage if he pops that as he jumps in. And he goes back, and his first buy is the recurve bow. He is teleporting in the top lane. Is he going to be able to get anything out of this? It does not look like it. Alawi smartly backs off, doesn't push in. I definitely am having my eyes on that top lane now, seeing how this early laning phase has been going. It looks like this Jax could become a problem, despite Alawi's bruiser ability to keep things going. And here we go. Got a jump onto Volibear. Exploded by Akali. Down he goes. And the flash Rek'Sai. Wow, double kill going over to Akali in the mid lane. And early advantages on Akali is something you don't want to see as an opponent.
No, you do not. And she does now have the CS lead as well as the 2 kills on top of that. That is going to put Frost behind quite a bit in that lane early on.
Yeah, he does teleport back into the lane, gets her down to about half health, but cannot do anything because of Akali's smoke screen. Rek'Sai secures the dragon during that time. So first dragon going over to them at the 7-10 minute mark, setting them up, if they keep on this pace, for an early soul point, and that is of course definitely a strong suit. And we got a gank in the bot lane. Rek'Sai gets in, and down goes Kog'Maw, blown up by the burst damage of Ashe, which is again something you noted about her early game damage, regardless of the little nerf that she suffered.
Yeah, Rek'Sai right now is doing a really good job at recognizing his opportunities and using the burrow to his advantage really well, as we could see there.
Yeah, and it's important to look as well, as you saw, there's no wards in that bottom river, which allowed the Rek'Sai to get in and be able to burrow without any repercussions, essentially. And here we go. We got a fight going on in the top lane. A flash does come out of Jax. He is low. He's going to drop to Volibear. And oh my god, is Akali going to be able to get away? She does get away. The ult from Volibear was short, expecting Akali to stay still, but she was able to dive back, get out of his ult range, and walks away with her life.
She's decided to stay up there as well, which will be really interesting. Volibear getting the kill, so Volibear does have that on him now. Oh, here comes Nico.
Oh no! That was I mean, he ended up securing the kill. Akali does go down, but Alawi burns her flash unnecessarily in the top lane.
Unnecessarily indeed, but I'm confused on why Akali tried to go in on that. But here's Rek'Sai.
Oh, and Nico blown up.
Blown up.
That is, something that we talked about with Ash is something that's overlooked with Rek'Sai as well, is the early damage that Rek'Sai can put out, especially when she hits that level 6, gets the ultimate. She can really shred squishy champions, and Neeko at this point, of course, has no resistance, is going to get blown up by Rek'Sai. Especially when she used her flash in the top lane to try to secure that kill on Akali.
And here's Rek'Sai setting up and looks like he's going for the Rift Herald. There is no vision on that top side, so this should be an easy Rift for her to secure. Jax is obviously going to keep Alawi busy enough, and they have mid lane prio right now, so it's a very good and very smart play from Rek'Sai to
looked like
secure that.
You're right. It did look like while you were talking there that the Volibear was trying to pull off a gank in the mid lane. Akali stepped back. Oh, here we go. I'm going to stop talking right now because there is a dive in the top lane. Alawi getting blown up again. Tries to use the ult to lifesteal and sustain, but does not do enough in this early part to stay alive. Rift Herald gets dropped in the top lane. Already one play over. They're going to get a couple more. They are going to be able to get this dropped low. There is a trade in the bot lane as well. A double kill over on the side of Team Wonderland. And wow, right now Team Ham is losing advantages all over the map.
Action all over the place. On the top side, first off, Malawi, the Rift Herald goes down and Akali's missing. That to me is a hint to step back, protect yourself a little bit. They're going to be more than likely they're on that top side. And then bot lane, it was just Voli was coming around the backside to try to get the flank on them, but Morg went in a little bit too early and got herself blown up too quickly for that fight, for them to have that advantage that they were looking for.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, so now that we have the time, is again, right before all of that happened, Volibear looked like he was trying to set up for a gank in the mid lane, and Akali started to actually move to the top side of the lane, moving up into the north side river, and it looked like to Volibear, and of course it looked like to me before that, was that Akali spotted the Volibear out, but it actually looks like she just had moved up because the play was called to dive in top lane, and from that reaction of Akali moving to the top lane, Volibear actually stopped, used his sweeper to try to clear a ward that wasn't there. And I think that is what ended up spelling an even, basically bigger disaster in that top lane, because Volibear didn't continue moving up to potentially do something off of it.
And another easy dragon for Wonderland. Right now, also, everything but top lane is they actually have an even lane right now, actually up top with gold. Everywhere else, so Ham is falling more behind.
Yeah, just using it for an example, you got an 800 gold lead in the jungle, an 800 gold lead in mid, nearly 1,400 gold lead. I shouldn't say nearly, it is a 1,400 gold lead in the bot lane at the ADC role. Even more now, 1,500, excuse me. And in support, you're looking at a 700 gold lead. So much advantage, especially in that ADC role. And with an Ashe against a Kog'Maw, that's not what you want.
You do not. And with Kog'Maw, you do... Oh,
executed. Flash has to be used to make sure they get out of the tower. I think Akali would have been able to live without having to flash, but Neeko blown up. Again, this is what you don't want to see if you're Team Ham. Akali sitting at 4-1-0, snowballing the mid lane, and it's carrying into other lanes as well.
before that happened, I was gonna say Kog'Maw too. Being down that gold is not a good thing because Kog'Maw does get really strong, but he needs to get the items and teleport being used top lane.
I don't know if that was really necessary. The tower's already low. You might lose it regardless, and now you just wasted teleport that could have been used for a potential play later.
And there does look like a decent wave in the mid lane that he is losing out.
All right, they do go in. Ults are burned by Alawi and Volibear. Here's a flash from Alawi. Does end up getting the kill onto Jax. But bot lane, oh, they're diving on top of them. Morgana gets dropped so low, does not get hit by the volley, is going to be able to walk away with their life. But Volibear now walking into a trap. Gets the knockup from Rek'Sai. Akali goes back in, dies for it. Ult wasted by Neeko because, essentially she ulted beforehand, but Rek'Sai smartly ulted, made sure that he was able to get out of that ult from Neeko. Walks away with their life. A good trade back, a good shutdown, especially for Neeko on the Akali there, getting the extra 150 gold.
It's really good because not only did they get that kill top lane, but as you said, they did get that kill on the Akali, and the kill did land up being on that Neeko, which desperately needs it at this point.
Yeah, especially now after that kill, he has closed the gap to about a 200 gold lead, 250 gold lead in the mid lane. Pretty negligible in that point, not enough for an item. But again, still in the bot lane is the big disadvantage. Ashe sitting at 1,600 gold over the Kog'Maw. Has the completed Essence Reaver. Kog'Maw still doesn't have even the Blade of the Rune King finished. They are going to jump in on the Rek'Sai in mid, but it does look like they're able to escape. And what happens in the top lane? They capture the top tower with the Akali and Jax push. And just right now, again, the Team Ham is losing map control all over right now. Kog'Maw just finally finished the Blade of the Rune King, but still such a big disadvantage. Essentially that bot lane cannot trade any fights right now.
They cannot. And on top of that, Kog'Maw is having to go back again to complete that item. Ashe is now up 117 to 81 CS, 121 to 81 CS, which is a big difference. And then you add the 3 kills on top of that. It's definitely a big difference with those ADCs.
Yeah, a 2,000 gold lead now. Again, that is massive. And as you talked about, Kog'Maw is a very strong champion, but that's when he has items. Oh, the ult coming out. They're jumping on Neeko. She has to burn the ult and the flash. They jump on Alawi. Alawi is going to drop. She has no mobility, is not able to get out. Flash burn from Ashe. They do jump back onto the Zyra. She dies, but right as a return kill, Akali kills the Morgana, jumps onto Kog'Maw, explodes him. There he goes down. A triple kill. Are they going to be able to follow up with a Quadra? And no, Rek'Sai takes it. Ace in the mid lane. Ham falling behind all over. That was a play that they should have disengaged as soon as they could. They got that kill. They should have left, but they saw those low health bars, decided to jump in, and that's all Akali needed to see because she wasn't there when that fight first broke out.
And on top of that, you get the ace, you get the tower, and you're able to clear out their jungle and get this dragon. So that's now 3 dragons. We're going for soul points here after this. And not only that, it is the Ocean Drake, so that's going to have really nice health regain for that Rek'Sai and Ashe.
Well, and it's actually going to be more important for as you said, the Rek'Sai, but the Jax, because he's going to be able to stay in those fights longer. He already has the Blade of the Rune King there. If he's able to mitigate damage, and of course his kit allows him to do that. The longer he's in those fights, the more he can just, sustain, and he's going to become a monster for them to deal with. And already Rek'Sai and Akali is a monster for them to deal with. And here they go. They're going to capture potentially the Rift Herald before it despawns. It's going to despawn in 10 seconds, and there it goes right there over to them. There's 2 Rift Heralds for Team Wonderland.
The item for Akali too, being at 7-2, she has 2 fully completed items. So she is going to be bursting down the side of Ham, and you're gonna have to watch out for her because she's gonna play that Akali game. She's gonna show up, wait in these fights when you're least expecting it, and cleaning up a lot of this.
Kyle, let me just ask you, because of course, for the listeners who don't know, you do play mid lane a lot more than me as of late. I know you've switched over to the ADC role, but Nico is sitting there holding on to the ring, the Dark Seal. Are you... there's a fight, going on in the top lane. Execution from the Akali, getting another kill. Flash does get burned as they tried to go kill the Nico. Zyra does move up, which is going to push Nico off of this top tower. Wave is about to push in, and they are going to secure this. That was such a big play for this top tower. And already, look at the Akali. Healed up, nearly full health. Booty going in despite the team being back nowhere close. They look like they... Oh my god, they leave the Akali, and she's going to clean up and kill the Morgana. Oh, she doesn't? She doesn't kill her. It gets close. Oh, the Ash arrow stops Volibear, but they do get the kill onto Akali. The shutdown gold again goes over to Nico. And here's the example that I was trying to show earlier. Oh, Jax flashing to get out of there. Is the Kog'Maw going to be able to clean up? No, he's shooting his ultimates short. Oh my god. That was so bad. But they were able to push them off. Kog'Maw does end up keeping that bottom tower alive for a little bit longer at least. To finish my thought though, we're sitting at 22 minutes into the game. Nico is still holding on to that Dark Seal. Would you just sell it and move on?
I would. The Dark Seal should have been, with not having stacks on it and not getting the start that you've needed to really utilize it at this point, you would want to sell the item and try to complete the others that you are going for. Apparently, he is trying to build the Morelos, which you just sell it and you get closer to that. It's just like if you get with the tier, if you get to the point that you're really far into the match.
Oh, and I'm going to stop you real quick here as there's a big fight breaking out, and Nico goes down again. This Akali just steamrolling 9-3-1 at this point. This is looking pretty close to a GG.
It is, and again with the item difference, Akali, like I said, has the 2 completed items. Ashe now has the 2 completed items as well, and nobody has 2 on the side of Ham, so they do have the items fight going on right now.
Oh, they just blew up Ashe though, and so does Rek'Sai going down, but the kill goes over, and now they're collapsing on the Alawi in the top lane. She ults, but she's not close enough to the walls for the ult to matter. Oh, so unlucky. Only 1 tentacle spawns for Alawi, and not able to get that extra damage and lifesteal that they need. Team Ham is pinging onto the dragon. Of course, they have to get this dragon, or it is soul for Team Wonderland. Now,
we are going to get it started, but it looks like there will be a fight that possibly could break out here.
Now, it does look like they may be able to get this. They are going to need to pull it out.
Ashe's arrow is on its way.
Oh, it hits the Volibear. Now, remember, Rek'Sai just spawned because they did die in the mid lane. So they are able to secure it. Rek'Sai was not around. And they do walk away, at least keeping them off Soul Point. Why are they fighting on the blue? They know that the team is around. They do snare Akali. She goes into Zanya's to end up staying alive. That could have been disastrous for Akali. And that shows, of course, the confidence that Akali gets when she is ahead. Not afraid to go face check a 5-man squad.
Especially the way she's playing right now. She obviously plays this champ a lot. She hourglassed when she had still half her health, which is really good. A lot of players, just like myself, makes the mistake of hourglassing really late when you're about to die, thinking it's gonna help, when realistically you're just stalling your death for like a couple more seconds. You want to hourglass at times early, so when you do come back out, you're ready to go right back in.
Oh, and Akali chives in and gets exploded again. The confidence for Akali because she got the advantage. Oh, what a wasted flash from Neeko. She flashed in to try to get the ult going, but started channeling the ult after the flash. Is not able to hit anyone. And that is a wasted ult from the Neeko, but they are able to get the kill onto Akali. They are now pushing into this mid tower. Teleport coming in. Are they going to be able to kill the tower before the teleport completes? No, they are not. And Kog'Maw gets exploded. Turnaround there also goes down Neeko. Team Ham had a chance to start crawling back in with the killing that Akali there, but they just were not able to complete that, kill that tower before the teleport completed. Ult coming in from Rek'Sai, going underneath the tower, does get rooted, and down goes the Rek'Sai. A bad play from the side of Team Wonderland, and now, even though they were able to secure that mid lane tower, it gives more life back to Team Ham.
Going back to that mid lane, when they did get the mid tower and lost a few of them with the Jax CP, it did end up working out because they did get those kills. But at that point, you're pushed up so far on the bot lane. I would have either you keep pushing there for that objective, but I do know, I forgot who it was did come down, but when you saw him come down, I would have not wasted that teleport and just come up behind them.
Yeah, it's a good, that is definitely a good play, but what Team Ham should have done as well is once the teleport came out, throw everyone at that tower to kill it before the teleport can complete, because they literally were one hit away when the teleport completed, and then they hit it to finish it. But enough members of Team Ham quit hitting the tower, and you now... or if you had killed the tower before that teleport completes, you put the teleport onto cooldown, and you also keep the advantage in the mid lane when it comes to it being a 4v3 versus a 4v4. So that was just a really bad call from the side of Team Ham to not look at completing that tower. We do have Jax jumping onto the Alawi there. She ults, does get some damage down onto Jax. His ult does mitigate a lot of that. He does have to burn flash to try to get out. Alawi, she wrongly W'd onto a minion, and she's going to lose her life because of it. Oh, boy. If that W ended up going out, if that W, yes, her W, if it went out onto Jax, I think she kills him. But because she hit the minion, Jax was able to capitalize on that.
He was, and with the lifesteal, you missing that one thing, Jax will out lifesteal you and gain that health back. And it's unexpected sometimes. You forget like how much Jax just revives that health. It comes back quickly.
Yeah, now he does have a bounty on him, a 300 gold one. That could be something that Team Ham looks to try and capture. If it's me, I'm going to try to throw that if I can onto my ADC, because again, this is nearly a 3,000 gold disadvantage now on the side of Kog'Maw. He needs to get some gold. He's nowhere near that power spike he gets when he hits his 3 items. As you are looking at now, he's not even finished 2 items if you don't count the boots, which, of course, most people don't count the boots.
And here comes Soul Point, so you do know a fight will break out here.
Volibear ults in, does steal it. That is a big play. Team Ham needs to disengage. They do not follow up after that. Such a good play from Booty, getting in, ulting into the pit, which is not going to allow him to get stunned. And then, despite even getting hit by the Ash arrow to stun him, he steals the dragon. That is now 2 Ocean Drakes on the side of Team Ham, again negating Team Wonderland from hitting that soul.
They're as you said, it's a night. They're able to stall that out a little bit longer right now, which will help out a lot with Wonderland not able to get that soul. I do want to point out.
Oh, Akali is so close to death. She does flash, and down she goes. That
again, the cockiness, as you stated multiple times on that account, she knows she's so far ahead.
And it's throwing. It is potentially throwing the game for them. Just before that, though, I do want to point out, which is what helped Team Ham be confident enough to step up and get the E onto Kali there, was Alawi had landed that same move onto Ash and nearly killed her with just that move alone. Now, Jax is split pushing. The call is coming out from Team Ham to go towards the Baron. They are going on to this. We could have a Baron fight on our hands. Despite the trade going on in the bot lane, we're going to look at the Baron fight. They do get it. The snare onto Zyra, but she does Zhonya's, and down goes Volibear, and oh no, this is a disaster. And that is going to be the Baron for Team Wonderland. That could very well be the end of this game. Of course, it's not going to be the end when it comes to the playing of it, but a near 11,000 gold lead on the side of Team Wonderland. Baron gets put onto them. It's so close for Team Ham to come crawling back in, and then they just lose it on that Baron play. This is such a huge mountain to try to come back.
That there again was a really good example of Zyra using the hourglass early, knowing Volley was jumping in. She only lost maybe a quarter of her health, but it allows her to throw out the ult, and Volley was using Volley's ult. Wasn't able to hit anybody else because of the hourglass, and allowed everybody to come in and clean up the rest of them.
Yeah, that was, oh man, that was such a big play. We do have a trade going on in the mid lane again. Alawi is going to be able to step away. Escapes with her life, but Morgana oversteps. Akali right there, and down she goes, exploded by the Kali and the ult from Ash. And there is a fight, of course, going in the jungle. Look at this sustain from Jax. And oh my god. Oh my god, that is so much damage, so much lifesteal, and he walks away, and that could very well be the end of the game. They're pushing down on the Nexus towers. It doesn't look like Team Ham is going to be able to stop it. Alawi does step up, trying to see what they can do to stop the push. They do kill Rek'Sai at the very least, but this Ashe is just destroying these Nexus towers. Kog'Maw dies just as a formality, and Team Wonderland is walking away with the W, dropping Team Ham into the lower bracket.
That was really well played by the side of Wonderland. They got that early snowball and just never looked back.
Yeah, the Akali, of course, did get very cocky towards the end, nearly through the game for Team Wonderland, but the advantage on the side of Wonderland was just so massive that even with those cocky misplay, miss throws, if you want to call them, didn't matter enough, because Team Ham just, again, the gold disadvantage, the item disadvantage proved to be just too big of a hurdle, and of course it was clearly shown at that Baron fight.
Yeah, as you stated, there was such a difference between items. A lot of Team Wonderland was able to get the third items, and a lot of Team Ham being so far behind was struggling to even get their second item. Again, Nico, I believe, had the ring the entire game with nothing out of it. If it gets to that point, sell it, get another control ward, place it down, get some vision, anything out of it. Because at that point, it's you're just wasting a slot.
Yeah, I completely agree. Kyle, before we end this video, I do got to ask, who do you feel was the MVP for Team Wonderland?
I'm actually gonna go. Even though Kelly had a really good game, I'm gonna go with Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai really started things off strong. Was able to get those early ganks off and get those early advantages in those lanes. Top side, he was able to get the advantage, and then went straight down bot side, got the early dragon, and was able to gank bot side to create even more of a gold difference down to that bot side to allow Ashe to really take over that bot lane herself, and just farm up and continue to push and pressure.
Yeah, I agree. Rek'Sai definitely set the tone, set the pace for the game, controlled the jungle so much, and just map control, again, securing 2 Rift Heralds, getting that top tier 2 tower so quickly. And again, a lot of it, even though the kills, especially early on, I know at the end of the game, Rek'Sai ended with 9, 4, and 7, but early on, of course, all the kills really piled onto that Akali, but a lot of those kills don't get onto Akali if Rek'Sai doesn't take those fights and the control that they had across the map. Kyle, before we end this video, final thoughts.
There's to me, there is a lot of rotations happening on Team Wonderland that allowed them to do a lot with the map, and I just felt like on the side of Team Ham, they weren't able to do the same thing. And when you out rotate, have the control over objectives, have lane prio, you can do that more so. And you gotta, if you don't have the priority in those lanes and what have you, it's gonna be hard. You have to adjust yourself and put a lot of defensive wards up and different things like that. And it just, as stated before, it was just once they started snowballing, they never looked back.
And that was the case for Team Wonderland. And again, just to recap it, Team Wonderland comes out victorious and moves on into the top side of the Clash bracket. Team Ham, unfortunately, drops down to the lower side of the bracket. A chance to crawl their way into the Consolation Championship, and we will continue following the journey of Team Ham as they go through this Clash tournament. But in this episode of the Clash tournament, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below on your thoughts of how the game played out, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can be notified of future videos, and always return back for more things. I want to thank Kyle for joining me again on this video, and remember, for you guys at home, your gaming news starts right here.